Hello, this is the description of Preston's ground, Deepdale, for supporters who are visually impaired and want to be able to imagine what it looks like when you listen to the commentary, or those of you who are just listening and want to get a picture of it, or indeed just people like looking at football club grounds. Sounds reasonable to me. So Preston, Deepdale, a really, really historic ground. Preston have played here since the 19th century, although it's so modern now. I assure you there's nothing left of that original stadium, which was used as well as a baseball game. First professional baseball match ever in Britain was played here in 1890. Pointless fact. Anyway, let's describe it. It looks, for those of you who are into your Italian football grounds, it has similarities with the grounds in Genoa, the Luigi Ferraris that Genoa and Sampdoria use. It's got a stand to my left, so behind the goal is the Bill Shankly Kop, because the famous Liverpool manager played here, and it's a really nice compact ground this. So you've got the Kop, it's one tier, separated into 6 sections, dark blue seats, and then picked out in the third section is the face of Bill Shankly. So coloured seats to represent him, line of advertising at the very top, and then a sort of shallow angled roof. And then the reason it looks like the Luigi Ferraris stadium that I mentioned before, it's got like a truss all the way around. The roofs are all the same height. It's very homogeneous. It's a really attractive stadium, and it's got a big white sort of framework truss holding up the roofs, going across the top at the front of the roofs, and then in each corner is a matching floodlight pylon, which is also held up by trusses coming from that truss across the front at diagonals. 3 trusses coming off the roofs, holding up the floodlights, like a sort of tripod almost in appearance. So it's a very attractive looking thing. Also in the middle of that stand is a scoreboard hanging from the roof of it. That would appear to be the away end, because there's a strip just to the right of Bill Shankly's head. There's a sentence I've never said before, which is, obviously used to separate supporters. Okay, let's switch across to opposite me. So down the side is a stand which looks different to that Bill Shankly Kop. It's got fewer seats. This is where the hospitality boxes are. So it's got fewer seats. The Bill Shankly one is very tall. It looks to have around 45 rows of seats, just a rough estimate. This one looks more like it's got about 20 rows of seats. And then executive boxes behind, and a gantry, and a sort of blank wall behind it. I'm not sure exactly whether, it looks like they might be building more boxes in there for to have a second row of them. Then a row of adverts, and then the roof, which, like I said, is the same height as the other one, but because this stand's a bit smaller, actually goes up at a slightly steeper angle, has the same white trusses across the top, same white trusses holding up the floodlights. There's 7 blocks and then 2 small ones either side, again all dark blue with PNEFC picked out in white letters. Right in the middle as well are the dugouts for the 2 teams, which are essentially just 5 rows of seats split into 3 groups. So there's 5 rows of 5 seats to the left and the right for home and away teams, and then there's also in the middle 5 rows with 3 seats across, which I guess are for the officials. Seems like they're going to get a lot of leg room then, doesn't it? Going across to the right hand side, you've then got pretty much a replica. In fact, I would say, apart from one thing I'll get to, it is a replica of the Bill Shankly Kop on the other end. Well, 2 differences, I suppose. One is it's not obviously got Bill Shankly, it's got Alan Kelly in the middle. Alan Kelly was a goalkeeper, Irish goalkeeper, played for Preston in the 70s, made 500-odd appearances for them, and then was manager afterwards. That's the Alan Kelly stand with his face picked out. And then the other actual structural difference, because apart from that, it's pretty much the same in terms of having those 6 blocks of dark blue seats with the face in the middle, is that there's a a platform on the right-hand side, about a third of the way up, for disabled supporters. So a wheelchair platform there. Same trusses, same floodlights, pylons, and then a bit that you can't see very well. My side is the Tom Finney stand, one of the all-time great English players, Tom Finney, who played for Preston. There's a fantastic statue of him outside. There's an iconic photograph of him sliding on an incredibly wet pitch, and all the water going up as a big plume, and it's probably the best football statue I know of, which has got him sliding like in the photo, and then a fountain bringing up lots of water. So that's outside. This is the Tom Finney stand. You can't see it here, but Tom Finney's face is also picked out in the seats on this stand. It's to my right, actually. I'm just about able to see it. And then apart from that, it's the same, the blue seats, but it's obviously wider. It's a sort of a replica of the sides, the stands behind either goal, except obviously it's longer because it's a side stand. Oh, I forgot to mention as well, all the stands, they haven't filled in the corners. The floodlight pylons are in the corners, but they do all have glass walls on the sides as well. So a very attractive, compact view. Above me, I'm in the press box, which is right at the back of the stand, except that above me is a gantry for cameras. So that is Deepdale, one of the great historic stadiums of British football, but unrecognisable from what it used to be. But certainly one of the great British football venues nonetheless.